You're stronger than you think. Right now, you might be holding on to something that's hurting you. A relationship that's been dragging you down, making you feel small, or stealing your joy. It's time to talk about letting go. It's time to talk about freedom. Think about a plant growing in a pot that's too small. Its roots are cramped, its leaves can't spread, and it can't reach its full potential. That's what a toxic relationship does to you. It limits you, constrains you, and keeps you from blooming into the amazing person you're meant to be. But here's the thing. You're not a plant. You're not stuck. You have the power to change your situation, to repot yourself in better soil, to give yourself the space and nurturing you need to grow. I know it's not easy. Relationships, even the toxic ones, become familiar. They become a part of our routine, our identity. We get used to the pain, the drama, the constant emotional roller coaster. We tell ourselves, this is just how relationships are. It's been so long, I can't leave now. The length of time you've been in a toxic relationship doesn't justify staying in it. Time invested is not a reason to keep investing. If you've been walking in the wrong direction for an hour, the solution isn't to keep walking that way for another hour. The solution is to turn around and start walking in the right direction. You might be thinking, but I've tried to leave before. I always end up going back. That's okay. Leaving a toxic relationship isn't always a one-time event. Sometimes it's a process. Each time you try, you're building strength. You're learning. You're proving to yourself that you have the courage to take that first step. Remember, every day you stay in a toxic relationship is a day you're saying no to yourself and yes to toxicity. It's a day you're choosing familiar pain over potential joy. It's a day you're letting someone else's issues hold you back from your own growth and happiness. But today can be different. Today can be the day you choose yourself. Today can be the day you decide that you deserve better, that you're worthy of love, respect, and kindness. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be easy. Letting go of a long-term relationship, even a toxic one, can feel like losing a part of yourself. You might feel scared, uncertain, or even guilty. They're part of the process, but they're not reasons to stay. Think about it this way. If you had a friend who was in a relationship where they were constantly belittled, disrespected, or made to feel worthless, what would you tell them? Would you say, well, you've been together for a long time, so you should stick it out? Of course not. You tell them they deserve better. You'd encourage them to leave, to choose themselves, to find happiness. So why don't we give ourselves the same advice? Why don't we show ourselves the same compassion and care we'd show a friend? It's time to be your own best friend. It's time to give yourself the love and respect you've been seeking from others. It's time to recognize your own worth, your own potential, your own power. Toxic relationships don't just happen in romantic partnerships. They can be with friends, family members, or even colleagues. The common thread is that they drain you, diminish you, and keep you from being your best self. Signs of a toxic relationship include constant criticism, lack of support, manipulation, control, lack of trust, and feeling like you're always walking on eggshells. If you're constantly making excuses for someone's behavior, or if you feel worse about yourself when you're with them, these are red flags. But knowing something is toxic and actually letting it go are two different things. So how do we bridge that gap? How do we move from recognition to action? First, we need to understand that letting go is an act of self-love. It's not selfish. It's not cruel. It's necessary for your well-being and personal growth. When you remove toxic influences from your life, you're making room for positive ones. You're creating space for joy, peace, and genuine connections. Second, we need to challenge our fears. Often what keeps us in toxic relationships is fear. Fear of being alone, fear of change, fear of the unknown. But here's the secret. The unknown is full of possibilities. It's where growth happens. It's where you find your true self. Think about all the energy you're putting into managing a toxic relationship. The mental gymnastics, the emotional labor, the constant stress and anxiety. Now imagine channeling all that energy into yourself, into your passions, your goals, your dreams. Imagine how far you could go, how much you could achieve. Letting go of a toxic relationship isn't just about ending something. It's about beginning something too. It's about starting a new chapter in your life one where you're the main character, not just a supporting role in someone else's drama. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, but I love this person. We have history together. We've been through so much. Love is a beautiful thing, but love alone isn't enough to sustain a healthy relationship. Love should lift you up, not drag you down. It should help you grow, not stunt your progress. Real love doesn't hurt. It doesn't diminish. It doesn't control. And history is important, but it's not everything. Your future is just as important as your past. In fact, it's more important because that's where you're going to live the rest of your life. Don't let your history hold your future hostage. Sometimes the kindest thing you can do, both for yourself and for the other person, is to let go. By staying in a toxic relationship, you're not just hurting yourself, you're also enabling the other person's toxic behavior. You're sending the message that it's okay to treat you badly, that there are no consequences for their actions. By letting go, you're giving both of you a chance to grow, to learn, to become better versions of yourselves. It might not feel like it in the moment, but sometimes ending a relationship is the most loving thing you can do. Now, I'm not saying you should just walk away without any attempt at communication or improvement. If you haven't already, try having an honest conversation about your feelings and concerns, set clear boundaries, see if the other person is willing to work on themselves in the relationship. But if you've tried this, if you've given it your best shot and nothing has changed, then it's time to seriously consider moving on. Remember, you can't change other people. You can only change yourself and how you respond to situations. Letting go of a toxic relationship is a process. It doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, effort, and a whole lot of courage. But every step you take towards freedom is a step towards a better life. Start by building your support system. Reach out to friends and family who uplift you, who remind you of your worth. If you don't have a strong support system, consider joining support groups or seeking professional help. A therapist can provide valuable tools and strategies for dealing with the emotional aftermath of a toxic relationship. Next, focus on self-care. This isn't just about bubble baths and face masks, although those can be nice. It's about taking care of your physical, emotional, and mental health. Eat well, exercise, get enough sleep, meditate, journal. Do things that make you feel good about yourself. Start rediscovering who you are outside of this relationship. What are your interests, your passions, your goals? What makes you laugh? What brings you joy? These might seem like simple questions, but when we're in toxic relationships, we often lose sight of ourselves. We become so focused on managing the other person's moods and needs that we forget about our own. As you start to rediscover yourself, you might feel a mix of emotions: excitement about the future, grief for the relationship you're leaving behind, anger at the time you've lost, fear about what comes next. All of these feelings are valid. Allow yourself to feel them. Don't try to push them away or bottle them up, but also don't let them control you. Remember, emotions are like waves. They come and go. Sometimes they're intense. Sometimes they're gentle, but they always pass. Your job isn't to stop the waves. It's to learn how to surf. One powerful tool in this process is forgiveness. Now, I'm not talking about excusing bad behavior or pretending it didn't happen. I'm talking about forgiveness as a gift you give yourself. When you hold on to anger and resentment, you're the one who suffers. You're carrying around a heavy weight that's holding you back from moving forward. Forgiveness doesn't mean you have to let that person back into your life. It doesn't mean you have to trust them again. It simply means you're choosing to release the hold they have on your emotions. You're choosing peace over anger, freedom over resentment. As you work on letting go, be patient with yourself. Healing isn't linear. You might have days where you feel strong and empowered, followed by days where you miss the familiarity of the toxic relationship. That's okay. It's normal. What matters is that you keep moving forward, even if it's just baby steps. Remember, every time you choose yourself, every time you stand up for your worth, you're building strengths. You're reinforcing the idea that you deserve better. You're teaching people how to treat you. Now let's talk about the future. When you're in a toxic relationship, it can be hard to see beyond it. It can feel like your whole world revolves around that person or that dynamic. But I want you to try something. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine your ideal life. Not the life you think you should have or the life others expect of you, but the life that truly makes your heart sing. In this ideal life, How do you feel when you wake up in the morning? What kind of people surround you? How do they treat you? How do you treat yourself? What are you doing with your time? What goals are you pursuing? Now open your eyes. That life you just imagined, it's possible. It's waiting for you. But you can't reach it while you're holding on to something that's holding you back. Letting go of a toxic relationship isn't just about ending something negative. It's about making room for something positive. It's about creating space in your life for healthy relationships, for personal growth, for joy and peace. Think about the energy you'll have when you're not constantly managing someone else's moods or walking on eggshells. Think about the mental clarity you'll gain when you're not always second-guessing yourself or making excuses for someone else's behavior. Think about the opportunities that will open up when you're free to focus on your own goals and dreams. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, but what if I never find another relationship? What if this is as good as it gets? Let me tell you something. Being alone is better than being in a toxic relationship. Solitude is better than toxicity. Peace is better than constant conflict. And here's the thing. When you're in a toxic relationship, you're already alone. You might be physically with someone, but emotionally you're isolated. You're not being seen, heard, or valued for who you are. That's a lonely place to be. But when you choose to be alone, when you choose yourself, you're never truly alone. You have yourself, and that's a powerful thing. When you learn to be comfortable with yourself, to enjoy your own company, to value your own thoughts and feelings, you become whole. And from that place of wholeness, you can build genuine connections with others. Remember, a relationship should add to your life, not subtract from it. It should multiply your joy, not divide your attention. It should elevate you, not diminish you. Don't settle for less than that. You deserve more. You are worthy of love, respect, and kindness. As you move forward, be mindful of the lessons you've learned. Reflect on the red flags you might have ignored in the past. Think about the boundaries you need to set in future relationships. Consider the values that are most important to you in a partner or a friend. Use this experience as a catalyst for growth. Let it fuel your determination to create a life filled with positive, nurturing relationships. Let it inspire you to become the best version of yourself. Remember, letting go of a toxic relationship isn't just about leaving something behind. It's about moving towards something better. It's about reclaiming your power, your joy, your life. You might be wondering, how do I start? How do I take that first step? Start small. Start with one boundary, one act of self-care, one moment of choosing yourself over the toxic relationship. Then build on that. Each small step leads to bigger steps. Each act of self-love makes the next one easier. It might feel uncomfortable at first. Change often does. But discomfort is a sign of growth. It means you're pushing yourself out of your comfort zone, out of the familiar patterns that have been holding you back. As you navigate this journey, remember that setbacks are not failures. If you find yourself slipping back into old patterns or feeling tempted to return to the toxic relationship, don't beat yourself up. Instead, view it as an opportunity to reinforce your commitment to yourself. Each time you choose to walk away, you're getting stronger. You're reaffirming your worth. Think about the example you're setting for others in your life. Maybe you have children who are watching how you handle relationships. Maybe you have friends who are also struggling with toxic situations. By choosing to value yourself, by refusing to accept toxicity in your life, you're showing them that it's possible to break free. You're demonstrating what self-respect looks like in action. Now, I want you to think about the person you were before this toxic relationship. Think about your dreams, your aspirations, your sense of self. Chances are the toxicity has dimmed some of that light. It's time to reignite it. It's time to reconnect with that part of yourself that believes in possibilities, that isn't afraid to dream big, that knows you're capable of amazing things. As you let go of what no longer serves you, you create space for new opportunities, new relationships, new experiences. You open yourself up to the fullness of life. You give yourself the chance to thrive, not just survive. Remember, the goal isn't to erase the past or pretend it never happened. The goal is to learn from it, to use it as a stepping stone to a better future. Every experience, even the painful ones, can teach us something if we're willing to listen. So, what has this experience taught you about yourself? about what you need in a relationship, about your own strengths and resilience. These are valuable insights. They're the silver lining in the storm clouds. They're the wisdom you've earned through your struggles. As you move forward, carry these lessons with you. Let them guide you towards healthier relationships and a more fulfilling life. Let them remind you of your worth, your strength, your capacity for growth. Letting go of a toxic relationship is an act of courage. It's an act of self-love. It's an act of hope. Hope for a better future. Hope for healthier relationships. Hope for a life filled with joy and peace. You might be standing at the edge right now, looking out at the unknown. It might feel scary. It might feel overwhelming. But remember this. On the other side of that fear is freedom. On the other side of that uncertainty is possibility. On the other side of letting go is a whole new life waiting for you. You have the power to choose. You have the strength to let go. You have the courage to start anew. Believe in yourself. Trust in your resilience. Have faith in your ability to create a life that truly fulfills you. Today is the day to start. Today is the day to choose yourself. Today is the day to say, I deserve better, and I'm going to create better. It won't always be easy, but it will always be worth it. Remember, you are not defined by your relationships. You are not limited by your past. You are a unique, valuable individual with so much to offer the world. Don't let anyone dim your light. Don't let anyone make you feel small. You are meant for great things as you take these steps towards freedom, towards self-love, towards a life free from toxicity. Know that you're not alone. There are people out there who will support you, who will celebrate your strength, who will remind you of your worth when you forget. Seek out these people. Cultivate these relationships. Surround yourself with individuals who lift you up, who encourage your growth, who respect your boundaries. These are the kinds of relationships that will enrich your life, that will help you become the best version of yourself. And as you heal, as you grow, as you rediscover your joy, don't forget to extend compassion to yourself. Be patient with your progress. Celebrate your small victories. Be kind to yourself on the difficult days. Remember, healing is not a destination. It's a journey. And every step you take on this journey is a victory. You might encounter people who don't understand your decision to let go. They might say things like, but you've been together for so long, or relationships take work. You can't just give up. Remember, these people aren't living your life. They don't feel what you feel. They don't experience what you experience. Your journey is your own, and you don't need anyone else's permission to choose what's best for you. When you start prioritizing your own well-being, it might feel selfish at first. We're often taught to put others first, to sacrifice our own needs for the sake of a relationship. But here's the truth. Taking care of yourself isn't selfish. It's necessary. It's the foundation for everything else in your life. When you're emotionally healthy and fulfilled, you have so much more to give to others, to your work, right? When you're on an airplane, they always tell you to put on your own oxygen mask before helping others. Why? Because if you run out of oxygen, you can't help anyone else. The same principle applies in life. You need to take care of your own emotional and mental health before you can truly be there for others. As you navigate this journey of letting go, you might find yourself grieving. Grief isn't just for when someone dies. We can grieve the end of a relationship, the loss of what we thought our future would look like, the person we thought our partner was. Allow yourself to feel this grief. It's a natural part of the process, but remember, grief is not a place to stay. It's a feeling to move through. On the other side of that grief is renewal. It's a chance to rediscover yourself, to reconnect with parts of you that might have been suppressed or neglected in the toxic relationship. Maybe you gave up hobbies you loved. Maybe you distanced yourself from friends or family. Now is the time to reclaim those parts. Start small. Reach out to an old friend. Pick up that book you've been meaning to read. Try that new hobby you've been curious about. Each of these actions is an affirmation of your worth, a step towards rebuilding your life on your own terms. Remember, letting go of a toxic relationship doesn't mean you failed. It means you're brave enough to admit that something isn't working and strong enough to walk away. It means you value yourself enough to demand better. It means you have hope for a brighter future. As you move forward, you might be tempted to jump into a new relationship right away. Be cautious with this. Give yourself time to heal, to process, to rediscover who you are outside of a relationship. Use this time to reflect on what you truly want and need in a partner. Use it to build a strong, loving relationship with yourself. Remember, the quality of your relationships with others is often a reflection of your relationship with yourself. When you truly love and respect yourself, you set the standard for how others should treat you. You become a magnet for healthy, positive relationships. Now let's talk about forgiveness again, because it's such a crucial part of this process. Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting or excusing bad behavior. It doesn't mean you have to reconcile with the person who hurt you. Forgiveness is about freeing yourself from the burden of anger and resentment. It's about choosing peace over continued pain. Forgiveness is a gift you give yourself. It's saying, I'm not going to let this pain control my life anymore. I'm choosing to move forward. It's a process and it takes time. Be patient with yourself as you work through it. As you continue on this journey, there will be good days and bad days. There will be times when you feel strong and empowered and times when you doubt your decision. This is normal. Healing isn't a straight line. It's more like a winding path with ups and downs. The important thing is to keep moving forward, even if it's just small steps. On the tough days, remind yourself why you made this decision. Write down your reasons and keep them somewhere you can see them. Maybe it's because you want to be treated with respect. Maybe it's because you want to pursue your dreams without being held back. Maybe it's simply because you deserve peace and happiness. Whatever your reasons, they're valid and they're important. As you create this new chapter in your life, be intentional about what you want it to look like. What kind of people do you want to surround yourself with? What kind of experiences do you want to have? What goals do you want to pursue? This is your chance to design a life that truly aligns with your values and aspirations. Remember, letting go of a toxic relationship isn't just about what you're leaving behind. It's about what you're moving towards. It's about creating space for joy, for growth, for genuine connections. It's about opening yourself up to all the amazing possibilities that life has to offer. You might be surprised by the sense of relief you feel as you let go. It's like putting down a heavy weight you've been carrying for a long time. You might find yourself smiling more, laughing more easily, feeling more at peace. These are all signs that you're on the right path. As you heal and grow, you might find that your perspective on relationships changes. You might become more discerning about who you let into your life. You might have a clearer understanding of your own boundaries and be more comfortable enforcing them. These are all positive changes. They're signs of growth, of self-respect, of emotional maturity. Remember, healthy relationships are based on mutual respect, trust, and support. They encourage growth and independence. They add to your life rather than taking from it. Don't settle for anything less than this. You deserve a relationship that makes you feel valued, respected, and loved. As you move forward, be proud of yourself. Be proud of your courage, your resilience, your strengths. Letting go of a toxic relationship, especially a long-term one, is not easy, but you're doing it. You're choosing yourself. You're choosing a better future. That's something to celebrate. Every day that you choose yourself, every time you enforce a boundary, every moment you spend building a life you love, you're winning. You're growing stronger. You're proving to yourself that you have the power to create positive change in your life. Remember, you are the author of your own story. You have the power to change the narrative. The toxic relationship doesn't have to be the defining chapter of your life. It can be the chapter that taught you valuable lessons, the chapter that led to your transformation, the chapter that set you on the path to a brighter future. As you write this new chapter, fill it with self-love, with joy, with genuine connections. Fill it with pursuits that light you up, with people who support and uplift you, with experiences that enrich your life. This is your time. This is your life. Make it beautiful. You might be wondering, what if I make mistakes? What if I struggle? And the answer is you probably will. We all do. Making mistakes, facing challenges, these are all part of the human experience. They're how we learn and grow. The key is to approach these moments with compassion for yourself, to see them as opportunities for learning rather than reasons for self-criticism. As you navigate this new phase of your life, stay connected with your support system, lean on your friends and family. Consider joining support groups where you can connect with others who are on similar journeys. There's strength in community, in knowing you're not alone. Remember, letting go of a toxic relationship is not just about ending something. It's about beginning something new. It's about opening yourself up to new possibilities, new experiences, new connections. It's about giving yourself the chance to live a life that truly fulfills you. You have so much potential within you. You have dreams to pursue, talents to share, love to give. Don't let anyone or anything hold you back from becoming the best version of yourself. You deserve to live a life that makes you excited to wake up each morning, a life filled with purpose and joy. As you continue on this journey, there will be moments of doubt, moments when the familiar pull of the toxic relationship feels strong. In these moments, remind yourself of your worth. Remind yourself of why you made this decision. Remind yourself of the future you're working towards. You are strong. You are resilient. You are worthy of love and respect. You have the power to create a life you love. Believe in yourself. Trust in your journey. The best is yet to come. Remember, letting go is not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of strength. It's saying, I deserve better, and I have the courage to go after it. It's choosing growth over stagnation, self-love over self-sacrifice, hope over fear. Every day you have the power to choose. Choose yourself. Choose happiness. Choose peace. Choose a life free from toxicity. You've already taken the first step by recognizing the need for change. Now, keep moving forward. Keep choosing yourself. Keep believing in the beautiful future that awaits you. You are not defined by your past relationships. You are not limited by your past experiences. You are a constantly evolving, growing, amazing individual with so much to offer the world. Embrace that. Celebrate that. Let it guide you towards a future filled with genuine love, respect, and happiness. As we come to the end of this talk, I want you to take a moment. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Feel the strength within you. Feel the potential that lies ahead. You are on a journey of self-discovery, of self-love, of creating a life that truly fulfills you. It might not always be easy, but it will always be worth it. Remember, you are the hero of your own story. You have the power to change your narrative to create a life you love. You've already shown incredible strength by choosing to let go of what no longer serves you. Now keep moving forward. Keep choosing yourself. Keep believing in your worth. The road ahead might seem uncertain, but it's filled with possibilities. It's filled with opportunities for growth, for joy, for genuine connections. Embrace it. Step into it with courage and hope. Your future is waiting for you, and it's brighter than you can imagine. You are strong. You are worthy. You are capable of amazing things. Never forget that. As you move forward, carry these truths with you. Let them be your guide, your comfort, your motivation. You've got this. Here's to your journey, to your growth, to your amazing future. The best is yet to come. As we wrap up, remember this. Your life is a precious gift. Each day is an opportunity to write a new page in your story. Don't waste another moment in a relationship that dims your light or stifles your growth. Letting go may feel scary, but staying stuck is scarier. You have the strength within you to make this change. You've survived every challenge life has thrown at you so far. You'll survive this too. Your future self is cheering you on. That version of you who's free from toxicity, who's surrounded by love and support, who's pursuing their dreams without hesitation. They're waiting for you to take this step. So take a deep breath. Stand tall. Know your worth. You're not just letting go of a toxic relationship. You're letting go of limitations, of fear, of settling for less than you deserve. You're making room for joy, for peace, for genuine love. You've got this. Your new chapter starts now. Make it amazing. Thank you.